What's up? Day 3 of my journey to my first payout. It is December 3rd, 2025. Today was a pretty rough day. I kind of predicted that once I got my first loss, I was just going to go to a hole, and that's kind of what happened. Took 17 trades. Not proud of it at all. You could see first couple of trades weren't too bad. First trade lost 200, second trade lost another 100 something. And I should have stopped right here. This should have been the end of my day, to be honest. But of course, I continued, continued, and got to a point where I was at negative $1,000 on the day. And it was just a rough day psychologically. My mental has to get a little better. This is all 14 trades, and I had one break even, lost these trades, and then you could see once my mental started getting really fucking bad, we started upping contracts, 10 contracts, 10 contracts, 20, 20, 20, 20, which is like ridiculous opposed to my normal 3. And it's just honestly bad. And we need to reflect on this for sure. Get rid of this. So I ended up adding a maximum loss limit of $200 and or it might have been 250. I'm thinking, or I think I haven't done that yet. I'll do that right after this video. But 250, I'm gonna do max 2 trades because every day should be max 2 trades, but today I just went fucking crazy. And luckily, I did see one good setup at the end of the day, but my two big wins that kind of brought me back from where I was were because I gambled essentially. The last trade was a good trade, although it was in the PM session. It had good confluences, but honestly, I shouldn't have done any of this, and I'm very disappointed. But we did make $500, which is meaningless because we didn't follow our rules. But anyways, let's go into the charts. I don't even have all the trades I had marked out, but we'll go into bias, a daily bias today. So I like to mark out my zones. This is Asian session, London session, and I saw these relatively equal highs in London session, and I was like, okay, this looks like an extremely strong draw, especially since during market open we kind of just dumped and made SMT these lows. If we look on the 4 hour too, we're delivering off this 4 hour imbalance, and we also just inversed this 4 hour gap as well as this daily gap. So I was very bullish, and I thought these were pretty obvious draws. Honestly, the draws were great. They did end up getting hit, but today it was just terrible price action today, and I should have recognized that from the start. Terrible price action. You could tell how choppy it was. There was no direct um direction the market wanted to go to. It My draws ended up getting hit at fucking 230, 240. Yeah, it was bad. And yeah, so let's go into the first trade that I took, which I feel like the first two trades I did take were pretty good, reasonably biased trades. But after that, I just started gambling. Um, so here, we had accumulation after we SMT'd with this, after filling this we also, re-entered this 4 hour gap after SMTing the 4 hour lows. We had accumulation, then manipulation, and once we made a break of structure with displacement, I thought this was a very nice trade. I probably entered a trade right here and got stopped out, or stopped at break even, and then I took another trade after we filled this 3 minute again, and stopped at break even, and you could kind of just tell the pattern. I took 17 fucking trades today. Shame on me. This one kind of brought it back, I'm not gonna lie. Finished my AP Human Geo test. Kinda antsy, really upset I just lost all these trades. I was probably down $500 at this point in time. And I was like, okay, just fucking. Nah, I was probably down like $1,000 at this point in time. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just make up whatever bullshit confluences I see and entered off that. But we did see a 5 minute inverse. So that was a good confluence. And then we also filled We also had a break of structure higher. So I guess this was a good trade, but I didn't even analyze this to see that until after I took the trade. And we ended up hitting TP here. I took 3 contracts off here and then had, I think, 7 down here that we also got hit. And at this point, we were like down 300 on the day. Should honestly should have stopped way before, should have stopped here, but kept going. Um, During physics class, didn't pay a lick of attention to whatever my teacher was saying, and it kind of fucked me because now I have a lot of homework on that, but it is what it is. This is the trade I took here. I mean, honestly, except it being PM, I thought this had pretty strong conviction. We entered a 5-minute gap, and then we had strong displacement off the gap, kind of a V-shape inverse, and we filled this imbalance, and I thought we were going to go much higher to finally take out my draws, but we ended up chopping around and hit hit me at break even around here because this was the end of my school day, and I was kind of like, okay, I don't even want to manage this anymore. But it ended up playing going higher, and I knew these draws were gonna get hit. The bias was really strong for today for these draws, and I knew these were gonna get hit, so I kind of just entered wherever, which is terrible. And yeah, I got stopped out, or I hit TP somewhere here because I was trailing my stop pretty tightly because I knew this was such a gamble. I don't know how I didn't stop myself, but we'll work on that. Um, Yeah, and then I got stopped out, and I think I'm pretty sure at this point in time I was probably up like $160. And instead of just taking that and finally getting off the charts, I decided to take another trade. However, this next trade was actually very, very nice, and I think this was a very high probability trade, which is why I'm kind of okay with taking this one, but I'm also like, I should have just stopped my trades at that point. Um, I didn't even check if this had a SMT, but if it did, this would have been A plus 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 plus. So what is this? 1505. Yep. So I SMT'd here. This was absolutely A plus setup, A plus setup, but it was in PM session, which kind of makes this bad trade to be honest. 1445. Wait a second, was this even an Edson? No, it wasn't even an SMT. Okay, whatever. But it was still a strong trade in my opinion. Filled this 15 minute. This is kind of the mech model by PB Trading that I like to follow when I'm doing low risk to rewards. This was a 1-to-1. I had fucking 20 contracts on this. So fucking bad, but thank God it hit. But still, like, I don't deserve any of this today. I don't deserve any of this money today. I should have had my account taken away from me, but by the grace of God, it actually played out pretty well at the end, but I'm so disappointed. I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna take a break tomorrow. No trade recap tomorrow, December 4th, just because I'm gonna take a break. This is a ridiculous day. I need to clear my mind and come back and trade the way profitable Robert would. But 5-minute gap filled, 1 minute inverse fair value gap, and after I saw this 1 minute inverse, I kind of just entered off that because we didn't inverse off this candle, we inversed off this candle, and right after this candle, I entered. And honestly, you could tell how bad my emotions were just today because once this is an A plus setup, and when I saw a little bit of drawdown, I was already getting scared. So that was just what the fuck, bro. But it ended up smashing my TP plus 360, and this is a great trade, but it is in PM session, not in my rules, not in my jurisdiction, so I shouldn't have even traded this. But if this was in the AM session, this would be an A plus trade, I think. But yeah, hit my draws, and then we're doing whatever we're doing. But um, lesson for the next time I do trade: understand market conditions and realize when there's choppy price action and when there's unprobable price action. We do not want to trade those days. Even if your draws are strong, it's just going to stop you out at break even or wherever you are. So realize market conditions If we're extremely choppy, not really making a clear move. I mean, off this, once we made our break of structure and we saw this chop, I should have been like, okay, today's not a great day to trade. So I should have realized the choppy price action, not traded, but that'll come with experience. And terrible day, but we'll go into, yeah, so $1,400 right now. I'm not proud. We're not even gonna count this day. So 1,400 though, and two more winning days, and we'll get our payout. But honestly, actually, let's set up that maximum loss limit right now. Here, I think it's here. Yep. All right, let's do personal daily loss limit. Usually, I'll risk around 150 to 200, so we'll do 250 over two trades. Daily loss limit. Um, maximum trades per day. Let's do two. If we go over, cause it's, yeah, two, right? Two break even, one break even, one loss. Yeah. After two trades, we should be fucking done. So saved, holding myself accountable, not trading tomorrow. I will see you guys the next day I trade. I don't know if that'll be Friday even, but we'll see. And yeah, that was today. Need to do a lot of reflection. Don't trade choppy price action. Learn from my mistakes, be more disciplined, follow my two trades a day, and control my emotions a little better. Remember, emotions tamper with probability. You don't want to be emotional while you're trading because that'll affect your win percentage, your win rate, and it'll affect all the statistics that go into your strategy. So, yep. See you.